All right. Well, happy Monday. Welcome to our Monday night team time, excuse me, call. My name is Dee Corton here with Meg Johnson. Glad you guys are here. Got to see some of you guys earlier today on the ED call, so that was awesome. And I know we've got at least one new coach on the line with us today, so we'll like to hear from you, maybe Jackie in a minute, but welcome, welcome. And we're going to try something new. What we want to do is a little QOD, little question of the day to start off our meetings. And just depending on size group, we won't have time for everybody to share. But what we'll do is I'll ask the question and then I'm going to randomly call on just a handful of you guys to share your answer. It's a great way for us to get ourselves thinking a little bit and also get to know each other a little better. So today's question is, what's something that you've always wanted to do but haven't done it yet? So what is something that you've always wanted to do but haven't done it yet? All right. I'm going to go with the first person I see on my screen, and that's Corey. She's like, I saw that coming.
Ah. Hi. I've always wanted to write a book, and I haven't done it.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Do you have a possible idea of what it would be?
No,
Not yet? Ooh, well, maybe even just saying it out loud will get the creative juices flowing. That's
maybe.
awesome. Maybe, maybe. Write a book. All right. Um, Julie Tracy, did you hear our question of the day? What's something you've always wanted to do but haven't done it?
Yeah, I heard it. Um, well, I guess more on the personal side, and it's probably something I should have done already, but I haven't, is swim with the dolphins. I would love to swim with dolphins.
Oh, that would be fun.
Hmm.
Be fun. All right. Let's see. How about Amanda Beth Bilton?
I put it in the chat. I want to take my daughter to Iceland.
Ooh, yeah, that's on my bucket list
Yes,
as
for
well.
sure.
Yeah.
I got my camera fixed.
Yeah, look at that. You're on a roll. And Debbie, I saw yours in the chat, but let's finish up with yours. What's yours?
I just think skydiving would be so much fun.
I want to do it too.
Like just falling, but then you have a parachute, so you're not gonna like die. It just I want to do it.
Cool. Cool. Anybody else just bust in to share? So the question was, I know Robin, you just joined on. What's something that you've always wanted to do but haven't had a chance to do yet? Lucy says, no way, afraid of heights. I think the hardest part would be getting to the edge of the plane for the skydiving. It's like anything, right? When you're going to jump into something new. All right. Well, Meg, I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, awesome. Hey, everybody. Welcome to March, which is pretty wild. Here we are, March 2025. And just want you to flash forward 10 years from now and think about what in the world your life is going to be like 10 years from now. I'll tell you, I'll have a 21-year-old, which is wild, and an 18-year-old. So I don't know what my world will look like, but I think that's a fun thing to do to disrupt our pattern and kind of just get settled in here. I found a quote preparing for tonight that just hit a chord with me. I wanted to share it because I think it honors each one of you and honors your decision to be on tonight. And it is the Theodore Roosevelt quote that Brene Brown gives in her famous TED Talk about daring greatly. So I'm just going to read a little snippet of it, but just want you to know these words are for you because you are here in the arena tonight. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again and again. I lost my slide. Because there is no effort without error or shortcoming, But who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat. And I just thought that was the perfect way to set the stage for our call and also to celebrate an incredible month that we had in February. So we have the slides. If you're new around here, we start every month by celebrating the previous month and just kind of take a minute and talk about the lives that have changed and what happened. So we're going to put on some music and show you a couple of slides. So give me 1 second. All right. So that was exciting. We ended there with our call tonight. That's going to be right after this team time call for our clients on getting unstuck. And there's a new format. You'll notice the graphic is new and fresh and different. And so we just encourage everybody to join us on there immediately following this call. And if you haven't, share the link with your clients because it's going to be a really great one. All right, Dee, I know we have so many good things to share tonight. I'm going to pass it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about the Get Unstuck call. I think that can apply to us in our health. It can apply to us in our business. It can apply to anything in life. So I'm excited. I love the fresh new look. And first, just before we jump into anything else, wanted to ask you guys and get a little feedback about last Monday night. So last Monday night, we did the Meet the Team and showcase some of our coaches, did a high level and really just inviting people into our environment, which we really think is special, what we offer here. And so let people could see potential coaches see what they could be a part of. What would it look like if they got on a team call and that sort of thing. So would maybe just like to have, you know, 1 or 2, maybe 3 of you share any feedback. And since it was a pilot, like if there's anything we could do different next time. And you can just pop off mute.
The people that I had come or even watch the recording afterwards, they all loved the stories. I mean, they said it was just really inspiring. The stories meant so much, and they could see themselves in those stories. So that really helped. So the format was really good. I mean, I got very positive feedback from it.
That's so good to hear. So good to hear. Anyone else want to share? Is it a thumbs up? Yes. I think a feedback I heard, I think it was on Time for You, was that also people liked knowing that it was going to be our team that was sharing. So from an inviting perspective, it was, you kind of knew what to expect. We kind of laid it out what we were going to do, whereas sometimes inviting to one of the national calls or to a team that's not ours, we don't really know how long it's going to run, who's going to speak, etc. So, okay, well, that is good. And we do intend, it is available on recording. So if you have somebody who, you know, comes up between now and when we're going to do our next one, feel free to share that. That is a great resource. And then doing a call with your coach, Coach Explorer, always a great idea with Meg or I, or Frank and Shauna, always a good idea. And but here's what we saw from a high level. We had 10 guests on the call, 10, which was really good. So I really feel like it helped us kind of get back into the mindset of thinking about coaches and who would I invite, and actually going through that process and whatever, and having 10 show up, and including Jackie, who signed up on March 1st. We have 3 new coaches as a result of that. So very, very positive. And it's exciting to know there are people out there that are interested in what we do. And if we can really get down to our roots and what this has done for us, and really get to know our clients, talk to other people, find out their needs, and just see if it's a good fit. They get to decide, but inviting them to things and get the opportunity to at least take a look at it. So Stephanie, you are on. So why don't you share a little bit about what it's done for you to connect with Jackie, and Jackie say yes to coaching, and would love if Jackie wants to pop off and say hello to the group. We'd love to meet her.
Yes, yeah, Jackie's on here. Sorry, Jackie, if you're like, am I supposed to be saying anything tonight? Just hopping on. But she also was one of the guests on the other night as well. And I could just speak from just my own feel of the energy that we had, because it was more of, like you said, it's like it's our team and it's our energy, and that we and just real people and real stories. And so whether you were taking it at the ball field, Emily, when you were sharing your story, and you know, with Lucy, just you know, the heartfelt. I mean, there was just so many, something everybody can relate to, and it's been great reconnecting with Jackie, and our girls go to school together and dance together, and we've been in Bible study together, and she's come to some of our other events that we've had locally, and now she's back here within Optavia, and has joined us to help change lives and, you know, fulfill this mission. So I'm so excited that you're here, Jackie.
That is awesome. Love your excitement too. What is it? It feels good, right? To be able to offer this to somebody and have some partner up with somebody. Yeah, so good. Jackie, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you're like, we want you to come back. And even if all you do is say hi, that's great. But we are just wanting to know you are welcome, and we're glad you're with us.
Well, I'm very excited. My husband and I are doing this together. So we are on day 4, and I know that there's so many people that we've done Optavia before, and we've tried other things, you know, just thinking about it. But in the end, it's what we always come home to. So, you know, now it just feels like the natural progression to inspire others and get other people healthy in my immediate family. And if that touches others, then I'm excited. But I'm really excited to be here. I appreciate it.
Good, good, good. We're glad to have you. And it's always the energy, right? When you're back on program, you feel good, you know, it's easy to share. So that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, what we're going to be doing for the next couple of weeks is we're thinking about this, like, you know, we did go through a slowdown in our business. So a lot of us, you know, maybe haven't onboarded a new client in a while, or maybe haven't onboarded a new coach. And if we think about the fundamentals of the business, it's acquiring clients, supporting those clients, acquiring coaches, and supporting those coaches. And very often, if we get confused, like, oh gosh, I'm not sure what I do when I bring on a new client, right? It's going to actually affect our energy and block us when we're out sharing about this, because there's actually a fear within us. What if it happened? What if they said yes? Or the same with sponsoring a coach, that sort of thing. Well, if they brought a coach on, how would I know? What do I know? You know, I'm not sure what to do. How could I teach them? So we thought, you know what, why not go back through the basics of this? Because we know that it's 2 things that drive our business. The first being the vision that you have for it. And we talked about this a little bit on the earlier call. And if we don't have a vision or an idea of where we're headed with it, what happens is there's the fundamentals, and the fundamentals are really not that hard with our business. They're not that hard to do, but they're also not that hard not to do. And if we don't have clarity of where we're going with it, why we're doing it, all of those things, it, you know, suddenly taking out the trash and I got to run to the grocery and all that stuff gets in the way of doing the little things that could make a difference. And yes, the landscape has changed a little bit. Maybe sometimes a little bit has changed, but the basics are really the basics. We're connecting with people and then seeing if they're a fit for one of our programs and then guiding them through it and then teaching others to do the same. And Julie Apple, I would love to have you share again because your business has shifted and you realized a lot of it was getting back to the basics again. So love if you share with us.
Yeah. Hey, you guys. So we were talking earlier on the ED call, and I was sharing about just my own experience over the past year and a half, 2 years. I think last summer things had gotten so quiet. I didn't. It kind of caught me like by surprise of like, what are we doing? There's so much like inaction, right? But I had to keep myself in action, and that's what I realized. And I was telling Dee, I had to keep doing the millimeter steps. I continued doing the things that I knew have grown my business over the past 10 years, even though I didn't have people reaching out on social media like I had for years. I was used to people reaching in Messenger. I mean, raise your hand if you were used to that too, you know? And then all of a sudden that just stopped. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And so I realized I had to pivot. I had to find new ways to meet new people. So I got connected, and Dee, tell me if you want me to share more or less, but I got connected to these networking groups. I found this one, and you guys may want to write some of these down because they have changed my business tremendously. I got connected to one called Ladies Lifestyle Network it started up in Charlotte, and it spread to other cities. And I live in Greensboro, about an hour and a half away from Charlotte now, but I got connected to the group here. And I have met some amazing business ladies, all in entrepreneurial like mindset. We meet monthly. It's great encouragement. So if you can find a group like that, it's been awesome doing that. I started teaching boot camps so I could meet more people and be with people that I already am like-minded with. So being in boot camps, that has grown numerous new clients and circles. I did like 3 main events in the fall to network. I did like a health fair at a landscaping company. They invited me to come. I did a nutrition workshop at the gym. And I also did one at my husband's office. They had a health fair. So I made sure to like be getting into these new spaces and meeting new people. And none of it like paid off like that month, but a couple months later, I got a new client from somebody at one of the fairs I did. Then I got 2 or 3 new clients over the holidays from the gym. And so I've just started seeing all these like seeds I planted over the past 6 to 8 months, like, oh, that was so worth it. And in the time I was like, what am I doing? Things are so quiet. Why am I doing this? But I knew if I keep planting seeds, keep meeting new people, things will start coming again. And sure enough, now it's happening. And so Dee and I have been doing a ton of celebrations with all these new people. And it's been awesome to like get back to that activity and seeing like, oh, this is fun again, you know, because for a while, and you guys may still be in that season, it feels not as fun, right? But I say all that to encourage you guys that even in the tough seasons, keep doing the millimeters, because as a business owner, it is inevitable. It will come back. It may look different now, but it will come back. So just keep doing the small steps that we know work. And so that's been helpful for me. I hope that encourages you guys.
So good, Julie. Thank you. And we'll touch on this more next week as well when we start to go into the full topic of acquiring new clients. But you got really serious and intentional about writing names down, right? Not sure you'd even have a kind of a dream list of who you'd like to coach with, because it's not every client, right, that you want to coach with, and you haven't even brought up coaching to some of them. It's the power of intention there and, you know, getting back into that. And I know some on the call are taking part in Bob Heilig's thing, learning more about some scripts and how to do authentic reach outs to people, getting responses, whereas sometimes those things would go into Cyberland and you never hear back from anybody. So we'll share as much as we can on that to give you the resources, and we'll dive deeper into it. But, you know, we always know that, and I say this all the time, like 90% of the equation, I would argue even up to 95% of the equation of success in this business is motivation, mindset, and then action, right? So if we're clogged up in our motivation or we have concepts, mindset, we could come on this call and give you a list of 10 things to do, and I can guarantee you smile and nod and then go not do them. right? And you're just human. I'm not calling you out like it's a bad thing. You're just human because we need that vision. We need the clarity of whatever it would be, just like we do with our clients, right? With their structural tension for losing weight and getting healthy. It's got whatever's on the other side's got to be more powerful than what you're facing at this moment. So, Meg, I know you've got lots of thoughts around all this.
Absolutely. So many thoughts around all of this. And I think one thing that comes to my mind that, man, I've been coaching 8 years and it's like, duh, it's the thing we, always remember. But it's how important it is that we put our health first, that we put put our own oxygen mask on first before we go out and, do all the things for all the other people, right? So, I was reminded recently, I went shopping on Friday and was reminded like, when my health is in check, everything feels better. It's more fun to shop, right? It's more fun to get ready. The noise in my head goes down. And I somehow put on 9 pounds that just like, boop, boop, like crept up out of nowhere, right? And, it's all fun and games until it's not, right? And then you're like, so I'm now contending for those 9 pounds to get them, out of here. But it's just such a good example of, how important our health is. And I'll tell you one thing that really shifted things for me, and I don't want to make this call too somber, but I went to dinner on Saturday night with a neighbor who I deeply love, who's never been a client, but has always been health conscious and always, would challenge himself, with health related things. So just kind of a cool guy. He's my age. He has 2 young kids. He sold his business for like, a gazillion dollars, not really, but he's retired at my age, which is pretty rare. And he told us he has 2 types of cancer. One is a bone marrow cancer, and he has 5 years to live. And it really, he said, Meg, here I am. I have all the money I could want, and I can't even spend it. Like I've realized how important our health is. And for me, and one of the things, if you know me well, I kind of struggle with water. And so since going to dinner with him, I've been so super conscious about like making sure I'm getting my water in, and just the importance of our health. But it really just like, when like you're in a fog or everything's blurry, and then, you see in complete 2020 clarity, that I kind of had that moment of like, wow, like health is so important. And not just my health, but like partnering with people to encourage them to get healthy, right? We know the number one cause of cancer for so many people is being obese, right? And we know the last time I checked, it was 70% of Americans are overweight or obese, right? So like, we know we have a problem with that. And what we know, you and me, we have a solution for that. And all I know is I've been battling my weight since I was 8 years old. And this is the only thing that works, that has, for me, right? Like I do it and it works. I do it and it works. And so, I kind of was going through the, like, oh, I'll try Ascend, or I'll try this, I'll do, playing around here or there. But I'm actually going back to the basics, because the basics are what works for me. And I've tried lots of different things, and lots of things don't work for me, but the plan and getting back to the basics are what works for me. So I don't know. I feel like I'm preaching, because I'm preaching to myself on the importance of not only contending for my own health, but like, picking up the phone, connecting with my clients, reminding them of what's possible for them, and how we all do it just one step at a time, one choice at a time, one day at a time, which we all know, right? We all know, but I needed that reminder myself. So just wanted to share that little piece of my heart tonight, and share it with you guys.
Yeah, I love that. And I was sharing with you, Meg, and I think I told Vicky this, but I had signed up for a challenge through my gym, and you know, honestly, I could make an argument like, oh, I'm fine with where my health is and stuff, extremely, you know, active, whatever, but not always making the greatest choices, right? Had put on a little bit of weight. And so I agreed to do this challenge through my gym, which was basically follow your eating plan for 4 weeks, no alcohol for 4 weeks, go to the gym 5 days a week, get your steps in. And I'm not going to lie, like by that second weekend, got a little tough, right? Like I had to dig into that grit of, why am I doing this? Why is it important to me? Getting to week 3, going through week 3 weekend, you know, and it's remarkable how good I feel, right? When you eat all the right foods and you know, don't drink alcohol and all the things, and how easy it is to forget that. But for me, what this has been about, and why I would encourage to maybe do something like this, is I wanted to commit to something and follow it all the way through, because it put me in a space that I can now, I remember what this feels like for my clients. And when they're fumbling and whatever, I can dig into my own feelings and emotions about why is it better to continue. Whereas when we're stumbling doing that, you know, I did day 1, I did take 2, oh, I fell again, 1, 2, slip, you know, when we're in that, and then our clients are in, it's no surprise our clients are mirroring us, but it's very hard for us to coach them in that scenario, because, you know, we're struggling with it too. And we want to be real and we want to be authentic, but there is something that just within you. And I think, you know, we're not getting healthy to build a business, right? We're not, but getting healthy and being in a space that helps you attract others to choose health for their own reasons puts us in that better place that Meg was talking about for that long-term health. Like when you look ahead 10 years, where do you want your health to be? And it's easy to lose sight of that when we're in the day-to-day. And the same really applies to our business as well. You know, I kind of like to think, you know, we did that exercise, like what's something you would always like to do when we think about motivation and vision. You know, there's no reason, right? Like Beth, you could figure out the cost of going to Iceland, figure out those logistics, right? And wouldn't it be cool if Optavia could pay for it, right? If you could make that goal. And I know you've done things like that where you've paid for the vacation for the family. You know, whatever it might be, the skydiving, whatever, having the resources to do it. But again, having you dreaming again will help you be in position to help others dream again as well. So that's why we always start with that. So if you haven't been doing that, I would ask yourself the questions like, what are some short terms? Like on the ED call, we asked, like, if I could get away for a weekend, where would I go? What would I do? Right? Think about it. And then let's plan for it. Let's do it. We've got these bigger goals. And it might be, I'd love to put my kid, like, you know, like have my child be in dance lessons or be able to do swim team or whatever it might be, cut back from work, or, you know, your 9 to 5, something like that. Like those are the visions that will help us drive and do. And so Meg, I'm sure you probably have something to add.
Yeah, absolutely. So having a vision for where we're going is really important, but I always go back to how was I feeling before Optavia? And, you know, I went back and listened to one of our old calls recently, and we went through this exercise where we asked, okay, where would you be today in your body, like in your body, had you never have done Optavia, had you never been a client of Optavia? So I would challenge you to think about, if that were true, where would you be right now in your body if you'd never heard about Optavia? When I do that, I think when I didn't know about Optavia, like I didn't have a lot of hope. That's one of the best things about the 5-in-1 is it works so darn quick, right? But I forgot I didn't have a lot of hope back then. And getting ready was terrible. I always wanted to hide. So think about how you felt in your body back before Optavia. Also, another great thing is, where were you in your mind before Optavia? Were you super negative? Did you focus on the negative? Were you more into like the drama of things versus the solution of things? Think about that before you did all this work and the personal development and the growth and all the things. And then also in your finances, right? Like what, you know, if you've been coaching for a while, what would your finances look like today had you have never said yes to coaching? What would that look like? And I think it helps just bring us back to the mission, because what we, you know, we can talk about our vision for the future and all of that, but it's really about wanting to partner and connect with people that need our help, right? They need our help in their bodies. They need our help in their minds, and they need help in their finances, right? And that's the beautiful thing that we do. We get to partner with them. We get to offer them that lifeboat, that life preserver. So I know we're about to close up, but we put together a resource document for you from a recommendation based on Carolyn Twitchell. And it's a list of all the resources for you to know, the different Facebook groups we have, the trainings that we have, the podcasts that are out there, the apps that are out there. So we put that in the chat for you. We'll also post it with the recording. We just created it today, so there are probably going to be some things to work out, some kinks in there, but we wanted to share it with you to help as you continue pouring out and helping others. So yeah, that's what I got, Dee.
I love that. I love that. And as you was saying that, I was thinking, there are times sometimes that I'll get frustrated with my clients or whatnot, right? Or you might think nobody wants to get healthy, or nobody, we can go into these big old generalizations. But the reality is I was not awake before I found Optavia. I don't know about you, but I would like Optavia was what it was that exposed me to all of this. And I don't even want to think about where I would be had I not found Optavia. I know I would be in a very, very dark place in probably many areas of my life. But it was that gradual was what I was exposed to. So as we're going through this, I would just remember or just encourage you to see the human side of other people, that they're not quite awakened yet, and we can't shake them, we can't scream at them, but we can gently offer that encouragement to start to help people see further than they currently see. All right, so I am going to get us rolling here with the, I don't think it's quite started yet, but let me stop our recording.
And as Dee's doing that, I just want to say, Jackie, thank you so much for that quote.